Seed companies want you paying $6 per packet every single spring for genetics they've controlled for 50 years. But ancient Mesopotamian farmers figured out 10,000 years ago that you can break the tribute cycle by saving seeds from your own harvest. I just built a vault of heirloom genetics for $12 that will feed me for the rest of my life without ever buying seeds again. By refusing to rent genetics annually, a home gardener removes the primary leverage of industrial seed suppliers. Watch me perform seed sovereignty that turns one tomato into 200 years of food. When executed correctly, seed saving operates as a rigorous system of decentralized genetic preservation, securing a household's caloric baseline independent of commercial markets. To understand how, we have to look at the original agricultural rebellion. In ancient Mesopotamia, temple priests controlled the planting supply, demanding a portion of every harvest in exchange for next year's seeds. Independent farmers realized they could bypass this tribute system entirely through secret genetic selection. By saving the largest, healthiest seeds from their own crops, these early cultivators created a continuous, closed-loop biological system. That generational labor of selecting the strongest traits formed the actual foundation for all modern domesticated crops. Modern corporate agriculture operates on the exact opposite principle. Companies engineer cyclical supply chains designed to enforce dependency, preventing farmers from closing that biological loop. They secure this monopoly through strict legal frameworks, patenting specific plant genetics, and aggressively litigating against independent growers who attempt to maintain traditional seed sovereignty practices. Under this model, agriculture transitioned from a localized system of compounding biological wealth into a precarious annual rental model where you pay for access to genetics every spring. To break back into the closed loop, you have to master the biological rules of replication. You cannot simply scoop the seeds out of standard grocery store produce and expect a harvest. Most commercial produce is grown from F1 hybrids, first-generation crosses engineered for specific traits, like uniformity or shelf life, which lack long-term genetic stability. Planting F1 hybrids triggers F2 recombination. Second-generation offspring suffer random mutations, causing unpredictable yields and agronomical failure. To build a vault, you need heirloom genetics. These varieties possess stable genetic markers that breed true. Parent heirloom plants produce identical, highly productive offspring across infinite generations. For a beginner, the easiest starting point is self-pollinating crops. Tomatoes and beans manage their own reproduction internally, keeping their genetics pure without the complex isolation distances required for cross-pollinators like corn. This visualization shows the raw cost multiplication metric of open-pollinated genetics. A single $3 packet of heirloom tomato seeds yields plants that produce roughly 5,000 seeds. In a single biological generation, you transform a minimal purchase into $600 of retail value. Properly identifying and sourcing these stable heirloom varieties is the non-negotiable first principle. Without the right genetic baseline, a self-replicating agricultural system collapses. Once you secure the right crop, you have to physically extract the genetics. Your method depends entirely on the plant's moisture content, splitting the strategy into dry harvest and wet harvest parameters. Dry harvests, used for crops like beans and lettuce, require patience. The pods must remain on the vine until they reach complete structural desiccation, becoming totally papery and brittle before extraction. Wet harvests for fruiting crops like tomatoes operate under different rules. The fruit must stay on the plant until it reaches absolute biological overripeness, well past the point of being edible. When you slice open that overripe fruit, you encounter the seed's protective matrix, a translucent, gelatinous sac enveloping every single seed. This gel serves a vital evolutionary function. It is packed with potent chemical germination inhibitors, engineered to prevent the seed from sprouting prematurely inside the wet, warm environment of the fruit. To bypass these inhibitors and prepare the seed for storage, we intervene biochemically using a 2 to 3 day water fermentation process. Submerging the seeds in water encourages localized bacteria to rapidly digest the gelatinous coating, completely stripping away the chemical inhibitors. This highly acidic fermentation phase serves a critical secondary purpose. It destroys devastating seed-borne pathogens that could carry over and ruin your future crop yields. After rinsing and drying, the seeds must hit a strict mechanical threshold, an internal moisture level of 6 to 8%. You verify this when a seed snaps cleanly in half rather than bending. Wet harvest requires an active biochemical intervention that strips away biological inhibitors and primes the seed for safe dormancy. With the genetics fully processed, the ultimate goal of the vault becomes the mastery of metabolic suspension. To keep seeds viable for years, you have to neutralize the three primary environmental vectors of degradation: ambient heat, humidity, and light exposure. The physical architecture of a household microvault is precise. Seeds go into categorized paper envelopes, which are nested inside tightly sealed, airtight quart mason jars. To guarantee a perfectly dry internal environment, we introduce a chemical desiccant, silica gel packets, which actively scavenge any residual humidity from the air. By strictly controlling this microclimate, you forcefully transition the living embryo inside the seed into a deep, dormant state. The thermodynamic mechanism is direct. Dropping the temperature and deeply desiccating the environment reduces the seed embryo's metabolic burn rate to its absolute minimum. These are the exact same thermodynamic principles utilized by massive institutional preservation efforts, like the Svalbard Global Seed Vault nestled deep in the Arctic permafrost. Under these conditions, tomato seeds maintain viability for up to 10 years. By using a first-in, first-out rotation protocol, planting the oldest stock and replacing it with fresh harvests, you ensure the genetics never expire. Before committing those older seeds to soil in the spring, you run a quantitative verification step. Sprouting a small sample in a damp paper towel ensures you maintain an 80% or higher viability rate. Strict thermodynamic control allows you to create an artificial temporal bridge, indefinitely protecting a living genetic asset from annual biological decay. When you step back from the granular mechanics of a single jar, the macro-level mathematics of agricultural scaling come into focus. This curve charts the sheer power of biological exponential growth. A handful of protected seeds rapidly multiplies, spiking to thousands in generation 2 and rocketing into an unmanageable surplus by generation 3. This mathematical surplus rewrites community economics. It generates enough biological capital to establish decentralized neighborhood genetic libraries at zero cost. Through community seed swaps, growers treat genetics as an open-source commons, completely bypassing commercial supply chain vulnerabilities. There is a deep agronomic advantage to this localized network. Seeds saved repeatedly in one specific microclimate gradually adapt at a cellular level, becoming hyper-resilient to local pests, soil conditions, and weather patterns. A resilient, decentralized network of compounding biological assets shared across a community functions as the primary safeguard against corporate genetic monopolies. The seed cartels want you renting their genetics every spring, but Mesopotamian farmers proved 10,000 years ago that food freedom comes from saving your own seed. Unearth the History is here to bring you the techniques they tried to outlaw. Start your genetic rebellion today. Reclaim your own harvest, save the heirloom seeds, build your vault, and hit subscribe to keep the agricultural resistance growing today. Reclaiming the agricultural loop is an ancient tradition, and building your own vault is how you secure it for the future.